also still creating and drafting ads copy manually, then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly, and in this video we are going to understand how to create and draft AI generated ad copy effortlessly with AI agent in Pabbly. So over here I'm a social media manager of a skincare brand, and we used to regularly create and draft the ad copies manually in our spreadsheet. But this was such a time consuming and a tedious process. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this automation where what will happen is that as soon as I add the details of my ads in my Google Sheets, automatically my AI agent, which is OpenAI, is going to generate the ad copy. And further, I'm just going to add that ad copy back again into my Google Sheets for my team to review it. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Sheets, OpenAI, which is our AI agent, and then again in Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also want to create this automation, this connection, or this integration for your business? Then for that you have to come with me towards my screen.
Welcome to my screen. So in this video, I'll show you how to create and draft high converting ad copies effortlessly using an AI agent. So instead of spending hours brainstorming the ad ideas, this AI powered system will generate your ad copy based on your details which you're going to enter here, like product name, target audience, key features, and CTA. So let's get started and see how this works. So let's say I'm just going to fill in my details right over here in my spreadsheet. I'm just going to enter the ad ID, the product name, the target audience, the key features, and then the CTA. So as you can see that with this successfully I've entered all of these details in my spreadsheet. And now the generated ad copy would be added right over here. And yes, over here you can see the generated ad copy has been added successfully. So you can see within seconds in real time the ad copy has been added right over here in my spreadsheet. And further my team can review it and change the status of the same right from here. Alright, so as you can see that this is the automation we are going to create in today's video, which will help you to generate ad copies in seconds and without any manual efforts. So to get started, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy, and as soon as we are going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here, I'm an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this sign in. And as soon as we're going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. And over here, you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And as soon as we're going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we simply have to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as this, which says how to create and draft AI generated ad copy effortlessly with AI agent in Pabbly. And we are simply going to click on this create right over here. And as soon as we're going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger. And that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, we are simply going to select that trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets because I have the details of all my ads in my Google Sheets. So I'm simply going to search for Google Sheets and then we are selecting it. And now for the trigger event, I'm just going to select it as new or updated spreadsheet rows, and now it is giving me a webhook URL. So we are simply going to use this webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. So first I'm just simply going to copy this webhook URL and then we're going to open our spreadsheet. And after opening our spreadsheet, we have to go towards this extensions, add-ons, and then towards this get add-ons. And after coming away towards the get add-ons, we have to install an extension in this spreadsheet. spreadsheet. And to install that extension, I'm just going to go towards the search apps and search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. So I'm just going to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks right over here. Then we are simply going to select it. So as you can see that I've already installed this extension, and if you haven't installed this, you're going to get the option of install right over here. I've already installed this, that's why it is giving me the option of uninstall. Alright, so now after installing this extension right from here, you have to refresh your spreadsheet. It is a really important step to refresh your spreadsheet after installing the extension. Alright, so now I'm just going to go towards this extensions once again. You're going to see that Pabbly Connect Webhooks will appear right over here too. Alright, so now I'm just going to go towards this initial setup. Now after coming over here towards this initial setup, it is asking me for the webhook URL and the trigger column. And now we have to enter the webhook URL and the trigger column over here. So for the webhook URL, we are simply going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow. Alright, and now for the trigger column, I'm just going to enter the final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent towards my webhook URL. So here for me, the trigger column is E, so I'm simply going to keep it as E. You have to keep your trigger column as per your specific spreadsheet needs. And after doing this, we are simply going to click on this submit right over here. And yes, you can see that as soon as we're going to click on submit, it is saying setup configured successfully. So with this, we have successfully created a connection between our Google Sheets account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. And in order to do this test submission, I'm just going to open my spreadsheet, and from here we have to go towards this extensions, Pabbly Connect Webhooks, and then we are simply going to switch on this button right over here which is send on event. So it is really important to switch on this button, otherwise the new event occurrence would not be shared towards your webhook URL. So now after switching on this button, what has happened is that as soon as I add the details right over here in my trigger column, automatically the whole of that row would be shared towards my webhook URL which is towards my workflow. Alright, so let's test it. So I'm just going to enter the ad ID, I'm just going to enter the product name, the target audience, the key features, and now for the CTA, I'm just going to enter it as order now. So I'm just going to enter all of my details right over here. And yes, with this we have successfully completed this, and now what has happened is that Google Sheets has sent the details of a test submission to our workflow. And yes, over here you can see that Pabbly has captured the response. You can see the product name, the key features, the CTA, the ad ID, and also you can see the target audience. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, and now we are going to move on towards our action step. So what I want is I want to create and draft AI generated ad copies effortlessly using my AI agent. So over here I'm just going to select my AI agent in order to generate and draft ad copies. Alright, so for my AI agent, I'm going to use OpenAI today. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI, and then we are simply going to select it. You can use any another AI agent too, like Google Gemini. Alright, and now for the action event, I'm just going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And to get this token, we are simply going to follow the help text, and it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So as you can see, over here is a hyperlink which is going to take me to the OpenAI API keys page. So I'm simply going to click on this hyperlink given right over here, and it will directly open my API keys page of my OpenAI account. Alright, so now what we're going to do is I'm just going to click on this green button right over here which says create new secret key, and I'm just going to name my key over here and select the project. Alright, so for that I'm just going to name my key as AI agent. I'm just going to enter AI agent right over here, and we are simply going to select the project. Now after doing this, I'm simply going to click on this create secret key button, and as soon as we're going to click on this create secret key button, over here you can see that this is my API key. So I'm simply going to copy this token, and then we're simply going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And yes, over here you can see that I've successfully pasted the API key, and I'm simply going to click on this save right over here. And yes, with this we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. Now it is asking me to select the AI model. So over here I'm just going to select my AI model as GPT-4. You can use any another AI model as per your choice. Now it is asking me to enter the prompt. So alright, I'm just going to enter my prompt right over here. So as you can see that I've successfully entered my prompt, and over here you can notice that the prompt says like you are an expert digital digital marketer creating high converting ad copy for a premium skincare brand. So as you can see, I've successfully entered my brand details over here. But now I'm just going to enter these details, which are our ad details. Alright, so to enter these details, I'm not going to enter it manually, but instead I'm just going to simply map it. So you must be wondering, what is mapping? So mapping is a method by Pabbly, which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step, where we selected Google Sheets as our trigger applications. We are simply going to add the details from our Google Sheets only, and we are going to enter it right over here. And over here, we are going to map the details, and as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so simply I'm just going to enter the product name. For that, I'm just going to open the response of Google Sheets and map it. Over here, I'm just going to do same with all of these details too. First, I'm just going to look for target audience in the previous response. We're going to map it. Over here, I'm just going to map the key features too, which we received from our previous response. In the last, which is CTA. So I'm just going to map the CTA too. Over here, you can see the same. And after mapping all of these details, we are simply going to click on this button right over here, which says save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on this button right over here, it is going to generate me the content. So over here, you can see that it successfully generated me the content, which is meet your skin's new best friend, natural glow aloe vera moisturizer. Experience the joy of hydration that feels feather light and soothing on your skin. Order now to give your skin that natural radiant glow it has been aching for. You can see the relevant hashtags too. So as you can see that on our expectations, or you can see preferences which we entered in our spreadsheet, automatically my AI agent has generated the content. And now I'm simply going to add this content into my spreadsheet once again. And to do that, I'm just going to add another action step. And now for my action application, I'm just going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm simply going to search for Google Sheets right over here. And as you can see the same, so we are simply going to select it. And now for the action event, I'm just going to select it as update cell value. So I'm just going to look for update cell value and select it. And now we're going to click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you've already connected your Google Sheets account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we're simply going to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. I'm just going to select my Gmail account right from here, and after selecting my Gmail account, I'm simply going to give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for. For that, I'm just simply going to click on this allow, and as soon as we're going to click on this allow, yes, you can see authorization successful. You can also give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because your data is also secure with Pabbly. Alright, we're going to move in forward. Now it is asking me to select the spreadsheet. Over here, you can see the name of my spreadsheet is add copies. We're going to select the same spreadsheet right over here too, which is add copy. Now after selecting this spreadsheet over here for the sheet, I'm just going to select sheet 1. Now it is asking me for the range. It is saying enter the range of the sheet that needs to be updated. So over here I want to add the cell value, which is update the cell value of F4. Alright, but over here I'm not going to enter F4 manually like this, because not only for F4 but for F5, F6, F7, whenever I'm just going to add the details right over here, I want to update the cell value too. But you must notice that the column remains same, only the row index is changing, right? Like F4 in this case, then F5, F6. So over here what we're going to do is I'm just going to keep the column static, which is F, and over here for the row I'm just going to map it from the response of our Google Sheets, which was 4. Over here I'm just going to map it so that it also changes with every new response received. Now what will happen is that let's say that I'm just going to add another details in F6 right over here, so automatically this is going to change. All right, so now we're going to move on forward, and now over here for the value, I'm just going to map the value which our AI generated. Over here you can see the message content, so I'm simply going to map the value, and I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on this save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received a positive response, that with this we have successfully updated the cell value in our spreadsheet. So I'm just going to open my spreadsheet, and yes, over here you can see the generated ad copy has been added right over here in my spreadsheet. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. So now let's test this workflow once again and check that if this is running in real time or not. Alright, so I'm just going to enter the details once again and check that if the generated ad copy is getting added right over here in real time or not. Alright, so I'm just going to enter the details. For the ad ID, I'm just going to enter the ad ID, the product name, the target audience, and then I'm just going to enter the key features. And I'm just going to enter the CTA right over here, which is try now. So I'm I'm just going to enter try now right over here. And yes, with this you can see that I've successfully entered my details right over here in my spreadsheet. And now automatically my AI agent is going to generate the ad copy. And yes, over here you can see the same. My AI agent has generated the ad copy and further added the ad copy right over here in my spreadsheet, that too without any manual efforts. It has successfully generated the hashtags too. So yes, you can see that with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and now further my team can review all of these ad copies and change the status accordingly. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and we've also tested this in real time and it is running perfectly fine. Within seconds in real time the ad copy is generating and added into my Google Sheets once again for the review. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this workflow and this video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box below so that you can access my workflow. See you in the next video with many more automation tips. Till then, thank you for watching.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.